Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Boot Hill Sports Network, something I think we've all been waiting for, since last season. This is our Caruthersville Tigers preview show. I'm Jeremy Abrams, the voice of the Tigers. We got Charlie Duckworth, the man behind the scenes, and the other voice of the Tigers, and some guy you might know. He goes by Coach G. Coach, how are you? Thirsty?
Great. I'm great. Time's ticking down. We're about 4 or 5 days away, so we're ready to get rolling.
So, does it seem now? In the mind of a football coach, does it seem crazy that it's already here?
You know, once the season ends, it goes really slow. And if you're anything like me, I go to basketball games for the kids, not for anything. So it goes really slow for a little bit, and then all of a sudden you wake up one morning and it's the second dead week, and you're like, "Oh Lord, I got to make sure we're ready to roll." So the summer went by really fast, which was nice. Dead week's already half over, so it did come quick, but I think we're ready. We're getting ready.
It just seems weird that it's literally right around the corner. I'm going to real quickly just ask you about last season. Terrific, a tremendous season. Finished up 10-2.
Yeah,
unfortunately, the two losses to Valley. I'm sure, of course, you're going to say it didn't go as well as you wanted it to go because you always want to win it all. That's the glory. But you still had an absolutely fantastic season, and 20 years of doing high school basketball, probably one of the most fun seasons I've ever had.
Yeah, it was a great year. When you're on the sideline and you're only stressed for the first 10 minutes, it's going to be a good year. That being said, I think last year was a product of being really talented. A lot of our juniors that year played up all the way through. We had a Derlin Moore Award winner who graduated.
First time ever.
First Derlin Moore Award, and despite what everybody thinks, Jermonte should have been a Card Trophy winner, and he was SEMO Ball Player or Athlete of the Year. So we were star-studded, and we still have a bunch of stars on our team, which Caruthersville's always blessed with great talent. Of course, last year ended a way we didn't really necessarily want it to, but we were able to get back, won our first outright conference championship since 2013. Good numbers, and I think great team GPA, great team attendance. So there was nothing to really be ashamed of as of last fall. So it was awesome.
No, I think so too. And like I said, it's never a letdown when you have a season like you had last year. And it was a great ride. And you're right. The fact that you had some seniors that were both award winners. Moving on from that, what's the hardest transition, I guess I should say, from a Monte and a Oscar Dominguez, going on to the next level, and then you got your strong junior class that are now seniors coming up. You got to transition them in to be the leaders.
I think when you look at guys that leave the program, and I don't know if this is every coach, but you try to replace the production of the guys that you miss.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So when you're starting to fill big gaps in your roster where, look, Kenyon started both ways for us. It wasn't just those two. Kenyon started both ways for us. Oscar started on the offensive line for us. We're thankful that we played 5, 6, 7 offensive linemen throughout the year, so they got some in-game experience. But when you're looking at replacing like the skill guys and the linebacker, you want to try to replace that production. And it's offensively, we're bringing back our top offensive producer. Sammy's here with me. I'm just too big to share the camera with him.
He's there, folks. I've seen him.
He's here. His hair's big. We're returning our top offensive production from last year. Jermonte and Oscar, or Jermonte on both sides of the ball, and then Oscar was a stalwart on defense. He had 174 tackles. So you got to try to kind of lean on your development with a JV that went 5-0 last year. There's guys that have stepped up in the summertime to really fill in those gaps. Finding ways to get the ball in more people's hands than just Sammy, because everybody knows that a big part of offense is just going to hand the ball to Sammy just like it was last year. So we have to find creative ways to get DJ and JJ and Quantarius and all those other guys the football. We've got a quarterback battle going on. Ryan started for me for 3 years. So
I think Charlie was going to bring that up for you, because that's going to be a big question.
I'm sure Charlie was going to bring it up for me.
He got it out of the way.
Yeah, I'm just going to preface it all there.
Well, and we're going to get to Sammy in a moment, but go ahead, Coach.
But you try to kind of replace that offensive and defensive production. I mean, it's hard to replace guys. I mean, it's hard to replace Oscar as a leader on the defense. It's hard to replace Jermonte as being like the team leader. But again, Caruthersville coaches will tell you throughout history, from the Guglielmo era to the Jimmy Jackson era to the Brad Gerling era, all the way back, we've just been blessed with dudes. We've always had some pretty talented football players. So this kind of leans on the coaches that this summer we worked on some things, and we really developed expanding on our offensive systems and defensive systems and trying to find ways to put the guys in the right spot. And as you go from a 10-2 year into a 0-0 year, everybody's like, okay, well, Coach, I mean, you won 10 games last year. And you're always gonna get the same response out of me, as you well already know. So we're just gonna go out there and play Tigers football and try to see what we can do. And
that's one.
Yeah, first one of the year.
Yeah.
But I will say, I was really proud of our attendance over the summer. I was proud of our kids. I mean, we didn't do anything flashy or fancy. I mean, some schools were traveling all over the state and doing 7-on-7s and all that stuff that's, fun. We did not have as much fun. We went to practice every day, and it was hot, and we wait out the heat, and I'd stand out there and I'm saying maroon because, as you can see, this is red right now, but if I'm standing out there with a wet bulb like this, it was maroon.
Yeah, I'll bet. I've seen it.
This changes colors very quickly. But it we wanted to spend this summer on focusing on where we're going to be able to put our guys to be the best and focus on really the programmatic growth and then growing into a new season. I mean, we've got some new opponents. Charleston dropped us, picked up Sykeston. Carlisle dropped us, picked up Duchesne out of St. Charles. So we got 2 new opponents on there, 2 new opponents for me anyway. I mean, Coach Treese has coached against every team in the state after 19 years. But
and yelled at every official in the state.
And yelled at every official in Southeast Missouri and North. So we got a different challenge coming on this year with that. We haven't lost a home game in 2.5 years. We're playing Valley at home this year.
Again. Yes.
So
we're gonna get to that in just a second. So right before we wrap up this past season, Charlie, you have any thoughts that you want to chime in on about last year?
It was like I've said it so many times. It was a magical year for me, being a junior, and this year being our senior year. In my senior year, I just feel like we got to improve on something here. Not a lot to improve on besides beating Valley. That's one. And winning a district, winning possibly a state title here. Right. This is a talented group that can do it.
We are, and we're no short of talent. I mean, not just because Sammy's right next to me, but you're talking about a kid who scored over 70 touchdowns in 3 years. You've got DJ, who very quietly last year ran for almost 1,000, scored almost 12 touchdowns. JJ, Jeremiah Jackson, phenomenal little football player. Trayshawn's back. Trayshawn Mays, outside linebacker, inside linebacker, fullback, running back type kid. Returning 3 out of 5 on the offensive line, but the 2 guys that we put in there played. One of them started 2 games last year. So we're in a good spot. I mean, I'm not saying we're going to have to put in some work the next 3 weeks because we still got guys that are a little green around the gills. But the nucleus of the program is really that group that's a senior now.
All right. Well, I think that's a good transition right into the 2025 season. The very first thing I'll bring up, which you already did, a very interesting schedule, and you explained why, basically. But But yeah, 3 out of the first 4 games on the road, 2 of them in the St. Louis area. You got to get the guys ready for that. That I know that travel can wear and tear basically can wear out some high schoolers, especially when it's still going to be kind of warm to hot outside.
This group of seniors. Remember my first year, we were gone 5 out of 9 games. So last year was the first year we've actually had a really good home schedule. Yep. So our kids are used to being on the road. I know they're looking forward to eating McDonald's at rest stops and all that kind of stuff. And we're at a point now where we're going to have travel rosters and making sure that guys are earning their way onto the bus and not overloading that bus to the point where everybody's sitting on top of each other. And we know that the travel wears the kids out. So we've had discussions as a staff on how to kind of mitigate that. And I think the biggest part of the mitigation of the wear and tear of traveling so far is we have a travel roster, which only increases the practice quality. And then you got to make it fun. I mean, St. Charles is 3 hours away, so we can leave a little early. And I mean, I'm looking forward to getting out of school. I know if there's an administrator watching, but I'm looking forward to getting out of school early that day too.
I mean, who isn't? They get to leave early too.
Exactly. A 32-year-old, 13-year-old. I'm excited to get out of school early.
That's right. Well, as far as the schedule goes, there's really the 2 games that I want to highlight that I know you're really big on the home games, and as we all are, but you got Valley Catholic at home, and then, of course, the Battle of the Boot Heel at home. Can you kind of tell me what your mindset is? I know you don't divulge too much because you don't, coaches might be watching or anything, but what's the mindset for you and the team and the other coaches going into those 2 games?
Well, Hayti. There needs to be no dramatic effect going into that game. Like everybody else handles that for us. They've already started. Like we're already to the point where people are like, oh, Haytai's doing this. And I bet people are saying, well, Caruthersville's doing whatever.
Oh, I've heard the rumors too. Yeah.
Like we're taking care of what we're taking care of over here. And you know me, like I really don't care what other programs are doing. I only care about what my locker room does. But having senior night as the Battle of the Boot Hill game, there's a lot riding on it, and I think that doesn't need me or Coach Treese or Coach Middleton or anybody to really fire that game up.
No,
it's just inherently important. I mean, we're not going to be in the same district. We're in the same conference, but like that's the game that means more than anything on the schedule, regular season wise.
And before I get off that subject, what's your record in the Battle of the Boot Hill?
I'm 3-0.
I thought so. I just figured you might want it.
I said I am. Okay, that's not fair.
Okay.
The program is 3-0 in my era as head coach.
It's fair because I asked you what's your record. I didn't say what's Caruthersville's. I said yours. So you can blame that one on me. But yeah, 3-0.
We'll talk about Valley, and my record's 0-4. So.
So let's just not talk about Valley until
Valley's the bear. Like you want to have a game on your schedule that those kids need to go out there and play almost perfect and nasty and tough. And when we played them in the regular season last year, it was like 30-something-7. It was a tight game in the rain, and we traveled through a hurricane. And they haven't been here since I've been head coach.
I had never seen them here.
I'd be curious to see the last time that they were in Caruthersville.
I'd have to look it up because
It's probably Brad Gerling era or Jimmy Jackson era.
Well, I think I covered the Jimmy Jackson era, and I don't remember. I could be wrong. I've slept since then, but either way, it's going to be fun.
I got the number. The numbers say 2018. Says September 7th, 2018. Caruthersville won 56-42.
Oh, so that was the shootout. That's right.
Jimmy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like. It'll be interesting because usually we have to go up there and then you're in their environment, and it's been the way it's always been. And now they got to come to us, and we play well at home. But we got a lot of season. We got a lot of time to get to that game.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a 1 week at a time kind of thing. I know that every coach is going to tell you that. And I think any player would tell you the same thing. Take it 1 week at a time. But obviously that's going to be one of the games that's on the people's minds, and they're going to be fired up and ready for.
I've already got my like billboard material done. It's actually really easy when you haven't beat them as a head coach, when you can just list all the scores on a piece of paper and put it in the lockers.
Can I give you a little bit more material?
Sure.
I want you right next to it, just put a big white whale and just say that Valley's your white whale. So you're going to overcome that this year.
He's our what's that book? Moby Dick.
Moby Dick.
Yeah, Moby Dick. Yeah.
But I'm excited for the season. We got some new opponents in there. They're fun. I love when we get somebody new, especially like it's a whole different challenge of getting ready for a game, and that's the fun part. Is the preparation for me. It's like breaking down film and all that stuff, and like I enjoy that part. So I get to nerd out a little bit with new opponents.
Caruthersville used to play Sykeston every year. I believe they were in the same class for a long time until one dropped.
I know we were in the same. I think they were in the Central or so at some point. But I knew they were on the schedule the year before I got here.
Yeah, I was going to say all through my years, the Sykeston was always there, and that's not just a fun trip, but a great rivalry at home too. And I remember a very competitive game when Coach David Gilmore, the late great David Gilmore, was coaching, and that's a whole nother story for a whole nother show. But Caruthersville, Caruthersville won that one, and but yeah, it was always a nice little rivalry, and then it just kind of fell off. But is there how difficult? The other question I had: how difficult was it to try to pick up the games that you lost?
We were fortunate. We picked them both up within. When we knew that we had to replace Carlisle, it was almost instantaneous that we got an email from them. We talked to a couple different teams, one in Kansas City, and I was like, I am not trucking my whole team over to Kansas City. I really care about my kids, but I will not be riding the bus.
We'd have to play that game in like Raleigh or something. I ain't going to Kansas City.
We had to fly out there.
Neutral sites and all this stuff.
Yeah,
and then,
Furrow Field.
Yeah. I'm like, no. And then there was one in like some Kansas team emails us every year that wants to play, but their enrollment's like 2,600 kids. And I'm like, ooh.
Is that a private school?
No, it's a public school. They're huge.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, and I'm not going to Kansas. I was like, you just drive. If you have to drive more than 50 miles to see a McDonald's, I don't want to go there. So they reached out, and it was a perfect match. And me and their coach have actually talked about a lot of programmatic building type stuff because they're in a building stage too, or they've been in a building stage for a couple of years. So I'm excited about that game. And then the Sykeston game ended up being like a big conglomerate of trading, whatever. And that's the game I'm most excited about picking up is Sykeston. I mean, they're right up the road. It's going to be an awesome game. They're well coached. I mean, they've been well coached under the last two head coaches. Coach Poley was there, and he did a great job. And then, of course, Coach May is a phenomenal football coach. I mean, you're not in the business for 30 years if you're not a great coach. So
no, he's a classy guy too.
Yeah, he's good people. So I'm excited about those two pickups. And then, of course, like we have to go to St. Jen. That was probably my favorite game of last year.
The Dragons. We love the Dragons.
I love the Dragons.
We like them. All right. They're all right. But
I just mean the mascot, not necessarily the city.
The mascot's awesome. I like they have a good group of kids too.
Yeah.
But that's another game that circled on my schedule as a head coach because you have to play chess in those games.
Right. Well, it sounds like you got the schedule lined out. Obviously, you don't want to get too far into the quarterback battle, do you?
I'll just say that it's been really competitive throughout the summer. I'm interested to see how the first week of the camp goes. So, I mean, naturally, I'm not going to say anything about depth chart on. I'll say, Sammy's going to start because Sammy. But
yeah,
I don't want to say anything about our depth chart on Facebook Live, naturally.
No, I got you. I understand. And the only reason I asked that because I thought there was a story on the internet that kind of projected your starting quarterback. I didn't know if they jumped the gun or what that was about. I'm not sure.
They've talked. I'll give they've done a really good job of talking about both the boys,
Okay.
and I think they've both done a phenomenal job. But there's a lot of they're both different than Ryan. They play the styles different. So for us, I mean, there's going to have to be check boxes. But thus far, they've done a phenomenal job competing against each other. They really have.
Well, I'm sure whoever's out there will put on a show, if not both of them. Some teams run that too. But
not me.
We'll let you. Not you. Got you. So it's going to be one or the other. So obviously we were going to get to talking about your key players, and the one, the only, the Bull is with us tonight. So Sammy Bryant, take the stage, and we'll talk to you for a minute, buddy. Sammy, thank you for joining us.
No problem.
Pleasure having you. So you're a senior now. You had an outstanding, one of the best junior years in the school's history, but now you're a senior. How much pressure do you feel, and do you feel like you're taking on a leadership role again?
Yeah, I feel a lot of pressure.
How about being the senior leadership?
Feel good.
One of the other ones was like last year, for example, when a good example was when Jermonte was in the backfield, they wouldn't kick to him. You are going to be the central focus of this team, as if you weren't most of the plays last year, but this year you're going to be the central focus on offense. Do you think you got a bigger target on your back now?
Yeah.
I'd say so, but I mean, a lot of high expectations, and of course, I had the absolute, just some of the best calls I made last year were your runs. I remember one of them was an 86-yard touchdown run that you probably remember it. You scampered. I mean, you had someone on your heels until about the 30-yard line, and then you were just gone. So I look forward to seeing more of that this year, and I wish you the best. And you can say no to this question or you can answer it. How much of a weight is the Carr Trophy talk on on your mind?
You can answer.
You don't have to, but you can.
I just feel like I'm going to win it.
See, that's probably the best answer anyone could give.
That's confidence. That's what we call confidence.
Bringing that one back to the Tigers would mean the world. Should have had it last year too, but we'll see how 2025 goes. Charlie, what do you got for the Bowl?
Well, you had one of the best rushing seasons the Tigers had in years last year. Do you think that you could improve upon those numbers now that you are the main focus and the one only on this team?
Yeah, I feel like I can improve.
All right. And besides that, do you have any games so far circled on the schedule? I know you do.
Hey, Ty.
Yep.
Yeah,
I knew it. I knew it was gonna be Hey Ty. I know it's gonna be senior night too.
How do you feel about Valley?
I feel like we gotta just come out and throw the ball. We can't run it because that's what they're gonna expect.
All right. Well, hopefully this year it's not going to be in the middle of a hurricane with 4 or 5 inch mud holes in the field. So that was the most disgusting game, field wise, weather wise, I think I've ever been to.
It was cold.
Yes. We were even cold up in the booth, but we weren't soaking wet. I'll say that.
No, the playoff game was worse.
Well, we were literally outside.
Yeah, we were outside the playoff game.
Yeah. But Charlie, I'll let you say one more thing, and then I'll wrap it up with Sammy, and we'll finish up our preview.
Piggybacking earlier on the Carr Trophy talk, do you think that that can lead you into winning a Carr Trophy? Do you think that it motivates you every single day?
Yeah, it does.
Thinking about it.
Yeah.
I figured so. Well, Sammy, we sure appreciate your time tonight. We wanted to, from the Boot Heel Sports Network and all the fans that I've talked to and that we know, want to wish you the best of luck, great, healthy season, and have the biggest season of your life, and bring that hardware home because we all know you can.
All right.
All right, the bull. We appreciate you joining us. We'll go back to Coach, and
He's a man of many words.
yeah. I mean, 2 or 3 per answer is not bad. We've had less. So, Coach, when you've got a player of his caliber going into his senior season, and of course, with the internet the way it is now and the buzz, how do you manage that? How do you manage the buzz around people talking about possible potential trophies and records and all that?
We humble him pretty quick. Well, times change now. I mean, with the abundance of media and papers and interviews, and I mean, Tom Davis does a phenomenal job covering us. He's a great friend. He's a great friend of the program. We don't get much love. I mean, you guys, but paper-wise, we don't get much love unless it's from Tom.
That's true. Yeah, I have to agree.
And like legitimately, one of the SEMO ball guys, and I don't know who it was, posted a bunch of pictures of these playmakers, and the kids are like, "Where's Sammy?" I was like, "Well, you know, we got our guy. Like Tom represents us really well, and we're a little bit, us and Haytai are kind of nestled in down here. So, but these kids, their ability and their hardworking nature and their personalities are what gets them the accolades that they get. I mean, and they earn the spotlight, but you don't want like Sammy's head getting where it can't fit through the door because he gets some internet articles. So we'll bring him back down to speed. But we're very fortunate, even with the guys that we've had in the past, very humble kids. We're all on the same page. I think as the years that I've been here have gone on, I've kind of seen this group of kids grow into more of a, okay, we're about sick of this team, and this team. And we got to pull together and do this right and do this right and do this right to win. And I think that kind of a mindset makes it okay for me to be like, oh, Sam got another article. This kid got another article. This kid got another article. Like, I don't think we have to battle the ego as much as some programs do.
No, I have to agree. And that's one of the mindsets of kind of what we do is because there's always so much talent in the Boot Heel. And a lot of times it gets overshadowed just by a bigger school or a bigger town or a bigger city, whatever. But I will say, whenever there's this much buzz about 1 or 2 or 3 different players or anything around the area, you guys as coaches are doing something right because their name is out there and they're going to be watched by more and more people and looked at. Yeah. And that's why go ahead, Coach.
Well, we're in a tough spot for media coverage. I mean, there's not a lot of big papers down here like the Standard Democrat or whatever that's up in Sykeston or wherever that is. Like, we don't let that aspect kind of bother us. We're just going to play our game and we're going to boost our kids and shoot. Every week I'm sending 15, 20,000 emails about recruiting for kids. And we're blessed to have the sports writers that we do that cover our boys. And we're just down here, and I don't want to speak for other programs because it's not my place, but I'll speak for ours. We're just going to do our thing and play our game and take care of our people that take care of us. And we're going to represent our community the best we can and let everybody else just do what they need to do. It's as simple as that. I mean, we're blessed to have the support in this town. I think we have, for some reason, our fans always get the short end of the stick on the SEMO Ball fans of the year. But I'm telling you, our rain, snow, sleet, or hail, you saw that Hall of Fame game.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So we have the best fans in the area by far.
Yeah, and they get loud. Boy, they get loud.
Yeah, that's why we're on the other side. I learned very quickly in the playoffs when I had to be on our side. I was like, oh, this sucks. I'd rather deal with the Baldwins than the other people on the patio.
You got the patio, yeah.
So we're blessed to have what we have, and, we're going to make the best of what we got.
Charlie, any last thoughts?
I'm just waiting until August 29th. I'm ready to go to Festus. I'm ready to start this road trip up.
Don't make time go by too fast. We got a lot of work to do. But I agree. I mean, it's going to be an exciting year. I'm excited. The kids are excited. I know I'm already ready to be back in the field house. I've kind of driven by and just looked in and been like, I can't wait to be back sweating in that office, watching film over that old computer, and because I love that desktop. So we're excited. It's going to be an exciting year, and we returned everybody on staff, and we got a great group of kids coming back, and we brought in some great kids from the middle school this year, and it's a good time. It's going to be a good time.
Well, you heard it here first. It's going to be a good time. I can't agree more. I know that Charlie's pumped up. I'm pumped up. I can see it in your face, Coach. You're pumped up. And from the Boot Heel Sports Network, I want to thank Sammy Bryant, and I want to thank you also for joining us tonight to get us ready for the season. Because trust me, I think there's probably about, I don't know, a good several thousand fans that already have goosebumps ready for some Tiger football.
I can tell when I'm at the grocery store and people are like, oh, what's going on? Like, the buzz is back, and the field's looking green, and the practice field's going to get striped soon, and it's a good time of year.
The only thing that you need to say, just obviously one last time, is I need you to explain to me what your team and your coaching staff are going to go out there and do on the field.
We're just going to play Tiger football.
That's it. That's all I needed. Thank you so much, Coach G, for joining us. For Charlie Duckworth, I'm Jeremy Abrams. That's all that needs to be said. We're ready for 2025 Tiger football on the Boot Heel Sports Network. Thank you so much, Coach. Thank you, Sammy.
You guys.
All right.